Hello, I hope you're well. My name is Ross Pepper, if we haven't met before. And today I just want to give a really quick introduction to two things. See, I've been coaching for about 10 years now, and of all the things that make the biggest difference, the two things that I've noticed, I'm going to share with you today. And this is out of everything I've ever learned about coaching, everything I've noticed in other people, everything I've seen about results and success. There are two things above all else that will make a difference every single time. The first one of those things that'll make a difference more than anything else is to just simply turn up. Turning up is probably the single biggest success factor that I've ever noticed anywhere my entire life. So turning up is critical. If you don't turn up, then you've already failed. And there's a few things that I guess I want to talk about here about turning up. Because if we have a reason or an excuse for not turning up, it means that reason or excuse is bigger than we are. It owns us. It controls our life, not us. So if I go, I couldn't make it because ... then you're essentially saying that whatever that thing is bigger than you. It's more capable than you of controlling your life. So simply turning up, regardless of reasons, excuses, and everything else you've got going on. And there's some really valid reasons for not turning up a lot of the time. But the problem is, if we don't turn up, regardless of the circumstance, then we've already failed, and whatever that excuse is bigger than us, and it will continue to be bigger than us. We're building a pattern of other things controlling our life. So turning up is always the number one key to success anywhere. So what's the second one? So the first one is turning up. In fact, Anthony Robbins talks about this, but he talks about it in a bigger context. He calls it raising your standards. He says if you want more success in your life, you raise your standards. And this is just one of your standards. Do you turn up to things regardless of reasons and excuses? So the second one I want to share with you today is to implement. Also called action, I guess, but it's deeper than just taking action. This is to implement what we learn. Knowledge is useless. What we learn and discover is useless to us, and yes, unless we use it, unless we implement it. So you've just learned that turning up is the number one biggest factor in success. To turn up will give you more success than anything else in your life. Number two is to implement that. So simply knowing that turning up is your biggest success tool, to not then just simply break through whatever you need to turn up, means you've already failed. So number one is to turn up, and number two is to implement what we've learned. So what happens when we turn up as well? So if we're now going to be implementing it, if we're now going to be implementing the fact that we've learned about turning up, do you know what happens when you turn up? And it's more powerful than any coaching you'll ever get. When you break through your own things and turn up, so whenever you break through excuses and reasons and everything else, who you become in the process of breaking through your excuses to turn up is one of the most powerful gifts you can ever give yourself. It's more powerful than any coaching you can ever receive. The coaching can help you to turn up. If you turn up, it can help you to turn up. But outside of that, who you become is what we're looking to create. A coach is looking for who you become. And who you become when you simply turn up, when you implement the fact that turning up is the number one strongest thing, who you become in that process is amazing. You discover that you are more powerful than your reasons. You're more powerful than your excuses. You're more powerful than the environment around you that is trying to give you reasons and excuses to not turn up in your life. And this goes for everywhere in your life. Simply turning up when you don't want to is incredibly powerful. And I can go into a whole description on here about that, but that's not what today's about. Today is about giving you the two most powerful things you can ever do in your life. The first one is to turn up regardless of circumstance. And the second one is to implement your learnings. You do these two things, and I know that your results are just about to skyrocket. This has been Ross, and I hope you've got a lot out of this about turning up and implementing, and I really look forward to catching up soon. If you want to drop a note in here, you're turning up and you're implementing. If you want to drop a note, please do. I'd love to hear how this made a difference to you. Thanks a lot.